Well, first off, I'd like to thank our fans. I thought our fans turned out and had a great impact on the game. I mean, I felt like we had a majority in the stadium. Obviously, we didn't play very well, but tremendous audience, great support from them, great atmosphere. I mean, I told our kids there's no better atmosphere to play in the country than the SEC championship. Just disappointed in how we played. Give Alabama a lot of credit. Give their defense and Bryce Young and their offensive skill players a lot of credit. They played really well, very accurate, explosive, and he's hard to get down on the ground, which caused us a lot of problems defensively. But we can't turn the ball over and give up 60 and 70-yard passes and expect to be successful. For the most part this year, we've executed well. We didn't execute well tonight, and that had a lot to do with them. So give Alabama credit, and we got a lot to work on.
Stetson?
Yeah, we just didn't play our best game today. They did. Can't turn the ball over. Just little mental lapses that can't happen that we're going to work on starting tomorrow, and hopefully get ready for whoever we play next.
Nakobe?
Yes, like the other two said, we didn't play our best game. Got a lot of work to do, a lot to work on, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna continue to work.
Okay, we'll open for questions. Raise your hand if you have one, please. Right here, front row.
Kirby, they hit the play in the middle to Jameson Williams and he broke. And from that point on, they just seemed to click there. Was there anything they were exploiting specifically with y'all?
Well, they're explosive wideouts and a really good quarterback. We changed the coverage up, and we had a couple busts. We had a bust on that play specifically where we left the guy, wide open. It wasn't anything they did different, same route they ran on Auburn, but we played it a different way and didn't play it correctly. Gave a play up there, but it was more than that play. Obviously, they hit us several times man to man. They hit us several times zone. I think you've got to affect their quarterback. You got to get to him and finish, and he's so good at avoiding rush that he buys time with his mobility to make plays downfield, and give him a lot of credit. He did a tremendous job.
Second row right here.
Yes, for Kirby and Stetson. I think 4 drives in the red zone tonight, only 10 points. Why do you think you guys struggled there in that area of the field?
Yeah, they did a good job stopping us twice, and then one of them we went for it, where we probably could have got points, but at that point I felt like we needed touchdowns, not field goals. And I'll let Stetson answer as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, can't throw a pick down there. The one where they went all out zero, clock was running down, didn't have time, tried to whenever we went for it on 4th down, tried to scramble and make a play. It didn't happen. And then I just got to finish it. I mean, we had opportunities. Like I said, we were moving it. We were driving the ball all 4 times, and just can't throw picks. Got to execute better.
Front row right here.
Yeah, Kirby, why do you feel like they had so much success through the year so consistently when we haven't seen that happen to you guys this year?
Well, I think the quarterback had a lot to do with that. Obviously they have 2 exceptional skill players outside, really talented tight end, but I would say the quarterback buying time. We called a lot of the same calls we called the other games. We didn't get home or finish on the quarterback, and he was elite at getting the ball to the playmakers. I mean, he knew where to go with the ball. He keeps his eyes downfield with the rush, where a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't do that. They look at the rush and they start trying to run away from the rush, and we could run them down. But tonight he did a tremendous job. He was mobile and made a lot of plays.
Toward the back of the room.
Hey there, this is for Nakobe and Coach Smart. Was really kind of wondering about how you were planning on going into this game, and just with the dynamic passing combo of Bryce Young and Jameson Williams. I don't think you've probably faced that kind of duo all year long. So, what makes them so difficult to defend? And, obviously you've seen some explosive quarterbacks and some great receivers this year, but, was there any way that you try to prepare for this going into this game?
You go ahead first, Kobe.
Oh well, yeah, we of course we prepare like every week, every other week. We took it in stride. Tried to trust the coaches, trust the plan and everything. They got great players. They made great plays. We just didn't play our best game today.
Yeah, I would reiterate what he said. I mean, we actually went into this game all week. We didn't even, we didn't work on run much. because we didn't feel like with the backs it was coming. It was going to be a pass game, and felt like we get a lot of empty, which we did. And I really feel good about the things we worked on, but our ability to execute them. And we had 2 or 3 third downs where we have a bust and cut a guy loose, and you hadn't done that all year. I mean, when you're in man coverage and you cut a guy loose, it's not typical of us. Now they may beat you. They beat us on several man coverages, and I can take that. But when you cut a guy loose, you can't do that. And you got to get off. When you get these guys in third down, you got to get off the field.
Third row in the end.
For Kirby and Nakobe or even Stetson, after a 12-0 regular season, to have a performance like this, what does it do to the psyche heading into your next game and the damage it does to that?
Oh no, it didn't do any damage. No, what it did is reinvigorated our energy. It recenters you, right? I mean, I think one of their greatest thing is when they lost their game against Texas A&M, they were to garner some focus and some attention. I mean, to me, that's an opportunity for a wake-up call, if anything. Unfortunate that it comes in a setting like this. But I mean, they're a really good football team, okay? And the narrative out there was, well, they just went at Auburn and they really struggled. And some of the sacks they gave up, their tackle didn't even get out of his stance. The crowd noise was a major impact there. Auburn played man most of the down, almost every single play, and they won a lot of their battles that we didn't win tonight. But we knew the narrative coming in, these guys can throw the ball, and they got a really good quarterback. And they gave him an opportunity to make plays, and he made a lot of really good plays along with their wideouts.
We'll go to the second row, and then we'll go to the front row here. Go ahead.
Obviously, you have the college football playoff announcement tomorrow afternoon. Even after this performance, with what you guys have shown this season, do you guys still think you are one of the 4 best teams in college football?
That's not for us to determine that. You know what I mean? Certainly, I feel like we are, but that's not it's not our job to determine that. It's the committee's.
Here, front row.
What was the biggest challenge in facing Bryce? And then defensively that you had to go against Stetson, what was the biggest challenge for you?
He a great player. We knew that coming in. He was very elusive. He runs the offense well. He did a good job keeping his eyes downfield and avoiding our pass rush. And I feel like, the pass rush and the coverage got to work hand in hand. So him being able to keep his eyes downfield and make some certain throws, really helped him out.
They're a really good team, recruit really good players. We move the ball and just mental lapses. And when you do that, they make you pay. Several third downs, the 2 interceptions. You just can't have that versus a team of this caliber. And we had it, and they made us pay for it.
Front row. Go ahead.
2 questions for Stetson. You referenced a couple picks you threw, and there was another one in the first half that was pretty close. I'm just wondering if you at all felt off at all tonight, or it was just a couple of mistakes, basically.
Yeah, no, I felt fine. The first one was a bad decision. The second one, I didn't see the safety driving. And like I said, you can't have those 2 plays against players like this. And they made us pay for it.
And Kirby, I understand Alabama scored 41 points tonight, but there's always debate about the quarterback situation. There's going to be debate about who should start in the playoffs. Can you just sort of address that and whether you think you have a decision to make about who starts in the playoffs?
We have a decision to make every week at every position, but I have the utmost confidence in Stetson Bennett and think he did some really nice things tonight, but we go and reevaluate everything all the time. But, he played well, and it's tough environment we put him in defensively, and we have to be able to run the ball and have a little bit of semblance of balance. And I felt like there was times tonight that we were getting into a scoring contest because our defense didn't get stops. And you don't want to have to do that. But I certainly have a lot of confidence in Stetson, and I have a lot of confidence in JT too.
Toward the back of the room on the left.
Kirby, you talked all week about how quick Bryce was at getting the football out. I mean, do you credit to you guys not getting enough pressure on him to that, or do you feel like their front actually really did a good job of blocking up you guys?
I'd be hard pressed to say without watching it. We got pressure at times, and he got the ball out. He escaped pressure and got it out. And there were times we didn't. We rushed 4 a couple times and didn't get any pressure. And he held the ball. One of those touchdowns, I felt like he held the ball forever. But you can't do the same thing every play. You got to pitch, and you got to mix it up. And Look, guys, I've seen a lot of good ones in this league. He's special, and you might play a quarterback as talented, but you might not play a group of skilled receivers with that. It's the combination of the wideout group they had, at least those two guys, and him making some plays. I mean, he made plays with his feet.
To the right, third row.
For Coach Smart, during the week you said you'd have to figure out how your team would respond if you ended up in a close game. Were you surprised the way the game kind of snowballed in the second and third quarter?
No, I wouldn't say surprised. I think there's a lot of comeback and fight to get the game back to where it was. We're driving down with a 14-point game and got a chance to score to make it 7. And I had a lot of confidence. We'd stopped them, I think, 2 or 3 drives in a row. We didn't want an onside kick. We said, let's kick it deep and stop them. We did it. We drove the ball down, and then we stalled out. So, I mean, there was a snowball. There was a period there where we didn't play well, but there was also a period there where we came back and had a chance to get it to a 7-point game, and we didn't do that.
2 final questions. First one right here. Go ahead. Second row.
Kirby, if y'all end up playing Alabama again, what adjustments do you think you'll have to make to give yourselves the best chance to win?
I don't know that I can answer that right now. I'd like to review the tape and see it. I mean, the first answer would be, don't leave people uncovered. You know what I mean? Like that's the first objective. Let's cover them and then try to win some one-on-ones and get balls down. Because look, now they're gonna throw incomplete balls. They're really good at doing that. So you've got to, at the end of the day, you have to put a body on a body and cover them. And some of the plays we gave were gifts.
Final question, right side, fourth row.
Kirby, after a loss like this, what's the first thing you tell your team?
I love them, and I appreciate them, and the outside noise begins now. We've heard it before, but these guys are so solid. We got such great leaders in there. I didn't have to say a lot in there because the leaders spoke up and talked about what they wanted and how they wanted the next couple weeks to go. And I think when you've got that, you've built the right kind of kids.